They asked me to do Camp Rock.
There's a timeline where Jesse McCartney and Demi Lovato were the leads of Camp Rock.
True.
Let's talk about The Masked Singer.
Are y'all really singing under there?
They wouldn't let any of the actors sing.
Do you not sing on Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Did I break your heart again?
Stop! That just ruined everything in my heart.
All right, well, hey, Anthony.
Hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well today. Welcome, everyone, to our first episode of our new podcast.
Here we are. We're in the kitchen, but for the first time ever, we're not singing.
We are just talking, letting you guys know about the thoughts in our heads and chatting with some awesome guests. Actually, today we've got Jesse McCartney coming in.
Yes,
which we were so excited about.
So stoked about it. He is one of my favorites. We started this podcast because we've had so many incredible artists in this kitchen. Teddy Swims, Tori Kelly, Victoria Justice, amazing people that I've looked up to like my whole life, really. And I know you have too. And we just have all these really great conversations off camera as we're like,
oftentimes sitting right here.
Right
in the kitchen.
And we were like, you know what? Why not film it for you guys?
Yeah, make sure that the good people at home can also, see what goes on behind the scenes.
And that's you, the good people
at home.
The good
people at home.
That's it.
All right, so why don't you tell me a little bit about your week?
I would love to tell you a little bit about my week. I just got back from Nashville. I was there doing a little bit of a writing camp. And for those who don't know, a writing camp is like when you take a couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days all in a row, and you just write songs with the same group of people. And we wrote 4 songs in 2 days.
That's crazy.
It was pretty wild. And then I just got home, and since then I have seen you every single day.
Mm-hmm. My week.
Yes.
You know pretty much everything that's happened. But today I did something a little different, and I got my teeth professionally whitened for the very first time.
That's insane.
Can you tell?
I can tell.
Yeah. I sat down in the chair, and the girl was like, she's like, so we're doing a cleaning too? And I'm like, no, we're just doing teeth whitening. And she was like, well, I think it'll take better if we do a little cleaning first. And I was like,
oh, she ate you up.
Read me on that one.
Okay.
So we did that, and then she did this. I actually have the photos of it. Hold on.
I need to see.
It's crazy. She put like this thing, like this like bonding agent or something. And so my teeth were green on top and orange. I know.
Wow.
I know. We're going to put a photo on the screen for those of you watching, or for those of you listening, go watch the YouTube video.
This is everything.
I know. It's crazy. And they did this thing where they put like these goggles on my face that like massaged my temples, and these compression boots on my legs that like just squeezed the blood. Anyway,
I think if I had like something weighted over my eyes, massaging my temples, I'd probably get so claustrophobic.
I was feeling that, and she was like, you seem a little anxious. And I was just like, well, I mean, I got a lot going on.
It's giving the time that we went to, so there was a moment, Jonathan and I stayed at Waldorf Astoria.
Not a normal occurrence at all.
We are not like out here going to fancy hotels. We're not quite there yet, hopefully. Anyway, we were doing a brand partnership. We were at Waldorf, and we got massages as part of like the trip that we were on. It was so cool. But the masseuse told us both the same thing, which was that
we need to relax.
We don't know how to relax. Mm-hmm. Either of us.
And today I brought that energy into my teeth whitening, and she was like, what's going on? And I was like, well, I've got a song coming out next week. Although by the time you guys are watching this, it's probably already out. It's called London Love. Go stream it, please, please, please. By Sabrina Carpenter. Please, please. Did you get the joke?
Love the song.
It is a great song. Love her.
And we also love London Love.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Which we also sing with Jesse McCartney. You can go watch that video too.
Ooh, that's
but yeah, so I've been like thinking about like ideas for videos and what am I going to do about this? And she's just like, I can tell from a teeth cleaning you are not relaxed. I'm like, oh, that's great.
You know what you'd be able to tell from my teeth cleaning? That similar to your song Paper Love, I have paper teeth. I love my parents with everything in me. Shout out mom, shout out dad. I know you're watching.
We love you.
Love you so much. I'm so thankful for my voice and my musical abilities and my amazing family. However, the teeth genes, gnarly. Yeah, unbelievable.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Like truly shocking. I have like a couple of teeth in my mouth right now that I know need crowns. Oh. So that's good.
Okay. Does it hurt?
Always.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, with that, why don't we introduce our guest for the day?
Let's do it.
Counter-Melodies. Counter-Melodies.
Guys, I have the most formal intro ever. Are you ready? Okay, here we go.
Drum roll, please.
I'm gonna get on the first time.
All right.
From platinum selling albums to Fear the Walking Dead, this artist has done it all. Over 20 years in the industry and still going stronger than ever with his new project All's Well out now and a tour starting in the fall. He may have been your first crush or your favorite chipmunk. I know he's mine. Everybody put your hands together for Jesse McCartney.
Hey! That's the
Welcome
best
in.
intro I've ever gotten.
Was that not
my
incredible?
God, that was perfect.
Thank
Hi,
God.
guys.
Hello. We're so happy to have you in today.
I'm happy to be back to see you guys.
We had you in here, what, like six
months ago, was it? Yeah, it was before my spring tour. We did some kitchen series videos, Little Beautiful Soul.
How
and
was your spring tour?
It was incredible. We actually, I think a lot of it thanks to you guys because of the all of the TikToking that you guys shared with the world. But no, it was really, really successful. We sold out 20 of the 24 shows, which is why we added a fall 22 more fall dates.
That's
so we're going back out October through November to do it all over again.
Nice.
Yeah.
22 more is insane.
22.
That really is.
20 in the
really is.
US, 2 in Canada.
That's real. We always got to include Canada.
Yeah, just got to keep the Canadians happy.
Now, most importantly, do you play Beautiful Soul?
Every night.
And is it your opening? Is it your closing? Where does it fall into?
So I put it at one point, it's always been sort of at the end of the show and usually the encore. And then, why did I say encore? The encore.
We're fancy here, don't worry.
Last, couple years ago, I decided I'm going to get crazy and put it in the middle of the set. Oh. And it just doesn't hit the same.
Wasn't the vibe.
It's just wasn't the vibe. And there's just the anticipation of that. I mean, that song has such nostalgic vibes and hits for so many people.
Yeah.
And when it's at the end of the show, it's just the show goes like this, and then it just caps off. So we keep it at the end. It's a nice
and it's
moment.
20 years old this year.
Let's
20 years old.
go.
I know. Tell me about it.
Trying to do the math in my head, like how old you were then, how old you are now. I'm kidding.
Yeah, well,
10
so I'll
then,
tell you.
25 now.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's crazy. It's crazy because it feels in many ways that it came out a month ago. It just feels like that time flew by. And I look at videos now of me performing that song in countries I've never even heard of, or I never knew existed. And here I was flying to these random places and sing, and people are singing along. They don't even speak English and they're singing Beautiful Soul. And I don't remember being in some of these places. But yeah, that song really catapulted everything.
That's amazing.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Was there some fear surrounding the second song and the follow-up? Or did you have it all on lock already?
Of course. I mean, there is such a thing about having a song that is too big. And I mean that especially as a debut artist, it was my first single, first album. It's really hard to top that, you know?
Right.
And it was, we came out with a second single. I think it was called She's No You. And it was a good song.
Oh, yeah.
I know every word that She's No You.
It was a good song. And I think, I think it mid-charted at 20 or something. And Beautiful Soul was at the top of Billboard for months and months and months all over the world. And so, yes, of course, it's kind of hard when you're already, when you're at the top of the mountain to have something that keeps going.
Yeah. But the album was done by that point, right?
The album was done. And, after She's No You, I think we put out one more single, Because You Live, which actually did better. It was on a lot of Disney soundtracks and it got a lot of traction because of all the movies, and it did well overseas. But yeah, I mean, Beautiful Soul definitely was that was the song from that time, from that era.
And since I remember Simply Everything, last time you were here, that's also not true. I have the worst memory ever. I don't know why I just said that. Last time you were here, you mentioned to me that you were so sick when you were singing that in the recording.
Oh yeah, I had the worst head and chest cold, and I was and they were like, just come in anyway. We'll see what it sounds like. And there's something that happens. I don't know if you guys feel this way when you sing, but there's something that happens with the way it resonates sometimes, that when you're a little bit nasal, it actually sounds richer, and at least for me.
Yeah.
And when I was younger too, my voice was still developing, and I was a very nasal singer as it was.
Okay.
And but for some reason it just kind of sounded better, and so we just kept the vocal. We re-recorded it when I wasn't sick, a week or two later.
And
we were like, no.
Wow.
We call that demoitis.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just fell in love with the demo.
Did the label keep trying to have you okay, go get sick again and come back and sing the next song?
You know what's crazy is Beautiful Soul was recorded and released before I even was signed. And it was only because of Disney Radio, which, AM radio back in the early 2000s was a big thing. that it took off on Disney Radio, that the labels were like, wait, who is this guy? Why is he number one on Disney Radio? We don't even know who this is. And I was still living in New York in a small town, and like they flew me out, and I was taking meetings because the song had been released. So actually that was done very like, with humble means, grassroots, in a garage, literally recorded it in my manager's like studio above her garage. Funny enough, the song was on Taxi, which is like a publishing service. I don't know if it's still around. I'm sure it is, but it's basically just like a catalog of thousands and thousands of songs with writers who are generally not published, that just have like songs that they want people to record. And so we were like thumbing through this list of songs, and we found Beautiful Soul in this like sea of thousands of songs. We're like, that song sounds good. Let's record that song. Wow. And that is how we found it. Then we recorded it. I think I was like 15. Sick. And then within 6 months, I think, we were flying to LA. I signed to Hollywood Records, and then we were making the full-length album.
I was going to give you a quiz question.
Oh, please.
Do you remember your AM Radio Disney, like what it was, what the numbers were? Do you remember yours locally, or is that just me being crazy?
No.
All right.
I don't either.
What I do remember, though, is I had this little device. It was, millennials, help me out here. It was like a little mini speaker, and you could buy a single song on a little chip.
Hit clip. Yes.
And I definitely had like Hillary Duff, Jesse McCartney, like that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AM, no, couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you. Well, I'm going to shout out
that was a
Albany,
failed.
New York.
Please
that
do.
was a failed technology. You don't see hit clips anymore.
No.
But you know what you do see?
What?
Tamagotchis.
Do you really?
I was just thinking about that. Yes.
Everyone is like everyone. That's so not true.
Right.
A lot of people though, like you see them.
They're bringing the Tamagotchi back?
Yes.
All right.
Tamagotchis are back. Anyway, shout out to Albany, New York, AM 1460 Radio Disney.
There you go.
1416, thank you so much for shaping this young man right here.
Actually shaped my entire life. Okay, my first interview I ever did was on AM Radio Disney. I was 6 years old. I had won a local singing competition, and they asked me, I remember this very well, they asked me my favorite singer, and I panicked. And I guess American Idol was like going on at the time, and I was just like, Clay Aiken. I knew nothing about Clay Aiken. Like not a single song. I just wanted to sound cool.
Not even Kelly Clarkson.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to do a Steve Carell. Kelly Clarkson.
Right. Nothing. I was 6 years old. I just wanted to sound cool.
Aw.
I know. I won a High School Musical singing competition.
Yeah, you did.
Do you want to formally apologize in the camera to Clay Aiken for not knowing enough of his...
Or to Kelly Clarkson.
Or to Kelly Clarkson.
My most sincere apology to Clay Aiken for not knowing your music. I now also know none of it. So
I saw him in Spamalot on Broadway.
Oh my
That counts
goodness.
for something.
Okay, we're gonna do a segue right here.
Yeah.
Sorry, that just like sparked it.
Great.
Broadway.
Broadway.
You just told us you did Broadway as a kid.
Yeah.
Let's chat.
Oh,
That's
right.
so sick.
Let's chat. Yeah, so both my parents were very theatrically inclined. My mom went to school at UCLA and then transferred to Juilliard, and my dad was in a theater school in Rhode Island, and they met in New York, and they were both theater rats. They did a lot of like off-Broadway shows together. And then when they got married and had me, I came along. They moved to like the suburbs of New York and did a lot of local community theater together, and we started doing it as a family. And I think I was like my first production, I was like 7 or 8 years old, and it was Oliver, and they brought me some like people from Manhattan came to the show, and they're like, your kid's kind of good. Do you want to bring him into the city and see? And my first theater audition was for The King and I got the role of Louis with like Haley Mills. I forget who played the King, but Haley Mills was sort of like she was like on the marquee as who played Anna.
Gosh.
She was like very big. She did the Parent Trap, the original Parent Trap Disney star.
Wow.
Anyway, so I played her son, did the Christmas Carol with Roger Daltrey on Broadway.
Nice.
I would just like to say really quickly that I was also the same role in the Lion King, and The King and I. It was not on Broadway, but so
Where was yours, Jonathan?
Listen, mine was at a regional professional theater.
Hey, shout out regional theater though.
Yes,
Come on.
regional. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it was the best performance ever. There was definitely some improper casting going on.
I think I read a review.
So. You probably did. You probably did.
You know what? It was your best performance, and that's what matters.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you understand that. Anyway, back to you. That was
No, but so that was sort of my theater journey, and I did it for like 4 or 5 years, and then eventually I signed with a management team and an agent. I was like this young child actor going into auditions after school. I'd drive down to the city with my mother, and I'd go audition for Kit Kat commercials and different things, and soap operas, and eventually landed a soap when I was like 11 or 12 and was on All My Children with Susan Lucci and
That's crazy.
Michael Knight and David Canary and that whole crew. Kelly Ripa, who played my sister, and she was like before her
No way.
Regis and Kelly days.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty
so
wild.
cool.
Josh Duhamel was on the show.
Wow.
What a start
It
for a
was wild.
career.
It was really cool, yeah.
Was that a fun experience?
It was great. It's really hard. The soap world doesn't get a lot of...
It's fast, right? Isn't it like
It's
every day?
an
And
enormous amount of material, and you shoot an entire episode every day, so it's 60 pages of dialogue. Thankfully, I didn't have I wasn't the star of that show.
Right.
But some of these guys are just memorizing pages and pages of dialogue. So it was a great place to start, and it was good for staying sharp.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot. And I was on for a couple years. And then
would you say that really informed how you portrayed the role of Theodore and Alvin and the Chipmunks?
100%. Yeah, it was basically just a blueprint for
Got
us to
it.
come.
Got it.
And
man.
no, Chipmunks came much later, but that was definitely the beginning of like my television experience and career.
It's amazing.
And
We love
everything
soap.
sort of, we
Yeah.
love a good soap.
Yeah,
All My
right.
Children is no longer, I don't think, which is kind of
Yeah,
sad.
it was like the longest one, wasn't it? Like 20, 30 years?
I don't
Something
know
crazy.
the history of soaps, but it was a long time.
Oh my
It was like 30 years, I think.
So you did theater, then All My Children.
Yeah.
Then you pivoted into Summerland and then music.
No, I think so. If
Oh,
you
wait,
wanted
no,
to
there's-
touch on Dream Street, right? So
That-
Dream
yeah,
Street,
I forgot about
which
that.
was like this short-lived boy band I was in, was sort of like a simultaneous. It was sort of happening at the same time as All My Children. Again, I was like on the soap, but I was like every hungry young actor,
Right.
like
On the
soap.
still auditioning for things.
Right.
And I got a call that they were doing. This is like at the height of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and they were doing a big cattle call for young boys to come and sing and dance for this new boy band they're putting together. And so I went in just like any other audition. I sang and danced with the two left feet that I have, and I only got into the band like with by the skin of my teeth because I could sing pretty
Right.
good, but I was not a great. I was the worst
Yeah.
dancer in the group.
Well, guess what? When you do Dancing with the Stars, then you're gonna redeem
Right,
yourself,
right,
They've
right?
asked me to do that show, by
No
the way,
way.
every season since its inception, and I'm just like, I love you guys. I love you as a network, and I
Yeah.
love the show, but I cannot do it. I just like.
Just because you would embarrass everyone else.
Yeah, like
But you'd be so good.
It's like no one wants to see me
wouldn't
in
be fair.
tights, and like, come on, yeah, it's like.
I mean,
I mean,
they
maybe a
make-
few people want
Right,
to, but,
right, right. A few
people would
I don't
love
want to see myself in tights.
That's fair. That's
and,
fair.
But no, I got in just like being able to. I sang for my audition. I sang. What was like the big Aerosmith song from like the early 2000s? And I don't want to miss a thing.
Hey,
Yeah. Sang that one. Like got to my knees and like that. But so
And you were
Love
9?
that.
I was like 12.
Oh, great.
Yeah, come on.
And,
Sorry. My
yeah.
bad, everyone.
They cast me in the group, and like within 1 month of being in the group, I hit puberty, and they're like, "Oh no, what did we do?"
no.
All of the other 4 guys were 14, and their voices had changed, and I still had this like super high soprano voice. I think they were relying on that, and then all of a sudden I dropped, and I'm like a full baritone. And but it was great. We like made it pretty far for a band that was like on the sort of it was like the end of the boy band era. But we
yeah.
opened up for Britney Spears. We sold 1 million albums through Atlantic Records, I think it was. And
how many of you had frosted tips?
how many what?
Had frosted tips?
I did, and I think Chris did, and I think 3 of us.
Love
3 of the
that.
5.
And
you
would
gotta
you
have
bring
at
it
least
back?
3 frosted tips.
Would you bring it back?
I have some right now. I got
You
some.
kind of do.
I would call
They're-
these more lowlights and
Yeah, yeah,
highlights.
yeah.
You know,
Lowlight.
I'm
I
in
never
my
did
low
frosted
light
tips,
era.
but I guess it technically is. I used to have the hairstyle where it was like flat and then spiked right in the front.
That's a very East
And
Coast vibe, which you're
that
an
was-
East Coast
yes,
guy,
Florida,
right?
yeah.
Yep.
And then that was bleach blonde.
Yeah.
Just the
Just
flip up.
the little flip
Just
up.
the flip up.
Okay.
Just totally
okay,
killing
Jimmy
it.
Neutron. Okay.
Exactly.
That's everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, frosted tips. We opened for Britney. Actually, Timberlake came backstage. This is when he was
Wow.
dating Britney Spears, and like we had just got signed to do like 5 or 6 shows with Britney and do like 30 minutes, and we didn't realize we were in Florida actually. And Justin came backstage, and we had no idea he was there. And he like came back, and he was like, "You guys ready?" And we all were like froze, and we're like, And he's like, "Let's go over the moves. Show me the moves."
So he's probably like what 21 at the time.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. He's like, I think he's like 5. He's probably like 7 years old, 5, 6 years older than me. So yeah,
Okay.
maybe,
Wow.
Yeah.
maybe 20.
Crazy.
This is before Justified. This is before his solo thing. He's still in
shoot.
sync guy.
Shoot.
But he was like super gracious. He's like, "You guys are gonna kill it," and then we And then we sort of broke up after about 2 years. The band sort of kind of dissolved, and we went our separate ways. And then that's when the solo stuff started having the Beautiful Soul and all that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never went back to the soap, huh?
Never went back to the soap.
No.
But we did Summerland
We did
Summerland.
Summerland.
at the same time as Beautiful Soul era.
So Beautiful Soul, I get signed. I come to LA. I'm like, Beautiful Soul is now topping the charts, and at the same time, it's pretty wild. Like, by the way, I had the most unbelievable amount of luck. Like, for any like young actor or singer listening, like it doesn't happen this way. It's like pretty remarkable that it did, and in many ways, like when stuff started getting hard later, I was like, what's happening? This used to be so easy. But I flew out, I got signed. My first pilot audition, they picked up the show, and I was like on this show Summerland, and it was with, Lori Loughlin, Zac Efron, Ryan Quanten, and
cast.
so we were shooting in LA. We did 2 seasons. I just moved to LA, and they're like, you get to shoot in Malibu 4 days a week on a beach. I'm like,
That's fine.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Life is so tough.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was trying to work in a soap joke that whole time, but since I didn't get to do my soap joke, I think we're just going to move on to a game.
We can
Is that
definitely
fine?
move on to a game. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So we were just
cool,
talking
cool.
about, because you had Beautiful Soul, you did the next 2 records, and we actually have a game about your music. And if you know, I'll let you explain the whole game.
Okay, let's kill it. Basically, last time you were here, something hurt me very deeply. Something that you said to me.
Oh, no.
Get ready to apologize.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
we were talking about Right Where You Want Me and how it was from Halloween Town. And you looked me dead in my eyes and you said, What is
What's
Halloween
Halloween
Town?
Oh, that is painful.
By the way, I still don't remember. I don't
Oh my
know.
God!
Listen, the Halloween decorations are going up at Disney, which means you can watch Halloween Town now officially.
It's Halloween time
Okay.
right now.
Right. I
Right.
saw you post about that, by the way, which means it's almost Christmas.
It is Christmas.
It's Christmas, yeah. Okay, so what's Halloween Town?
Stop. That like makes me ill.
Okay.
Halloween Town is only the greatest decom ever.
Okay.
It's so good.
And Right Where You Want Me was
And Right Where You Want Me was like in it.
Okay.
Oh
All right.
yeah. Okay, well anyway, we put together a little game around that.
Okay.
Right.
I hope there's
It's
no
all about
questions about
Halloween
Halloween
Town.
Town.
Oh,
no!
it's actually pretty much all about Halloween. I'm kidding.
We even have some props to go with this one.
Yeah, we got some props. Okay,
It's a
here we go.
ladle.
No, it's
two
a
ladles.
silver spoon.
Oh, it's a
and a plastic spoon.
Got it, got it.
because of your new single,
Got it.
Silver Spoon.
Oh, now I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So basically, here's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say the name of a TV show or movie from Disney Channel.
Okay.
And then you're gonna raise the silver spoon if you think you had a song in it.
Okay.
And then the plastic one if you think you did not have a song in it.
Okay.
And then bonus points if you can name what song was in what show.
This is great because I will know none of these. Let's try.
Great.
Perfect. All right.
Okay, you want to kick it off?
Absolutely.
Let's
So,
go.
question number 1, did you have a song in the TV show Kim Possible?
So this is no, right?
That's
No,
no.
yeah.
I'm gonna go no
All right.
for 1,000.
That is incorrect.
Did I really?
You had the song Get Your Shine On in Kim Possible.
Get your shine on. Too hot, too hot.
Hey. Okay. Next is Disney's So Random. Did you have a song in So Random?
No.
Okay, he raised for our audio only listeners, he raised the plastic spoon.
Yeah.
Just assume if I say no that the plastic spoon has been raised.
Well, they might,
Well, you're correct. You did not have a song in So Random.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think it was kind of after the era a little bit.
Yeah.
That was like Demi Lovato time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How about That's So Raven?
That's So Raven, I think I did have a song in That's So Raven, right?
You did.
Yeah.
But can you name the song?
Is it That's So Raven? Was it
I'll give you a hint.
okay?
There are 2 correct answers.
Woo.
Both from the Beautiful Soul album? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Beautiful Soul, and then I'm gonna go Because You Live.
Oh, so close.
Oh, thanks.
It would have been She's No You.
Oh, okay. So 2nd single, yeah.
So you get at least 1 point for
Okay,
that.
I'll take it. I get half credit.
All right. Next, we got Ice Princess.
Ice Princess.
Oh my God, he's going to say you don't know what it is.
I don't even know. I'm gonna say no. That's a plastic spoon.
Well, it's actually a silver spoon because you super had a song in
Really?
Ice Princess.
Damn.
Do you want to
You
guess?
have a lot of movies to go watch.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Give me an album at least.
First one.
I'll give you another hint.
Actually, is it first one? I think it is. I think it's first one.
You just did
Oh, yeah. A shoulder action.
it a minute ago.
I don't know.
It's a repeat answer.
It's a repeat answer.
Oh, Because You Live.
No.
She's No You.
More.
Beautiful
get your
Soul.
shine
Get
on.
your shine
Is that
on.
second album? Was I wrong?
That was first album. No,
Oh, it was
you're
first
right.
album.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
cool.
How about Camp Rock?
Camp Rock. I'm gonna say Plastic Spoon on that too.
You're right.
Okay, cool.
You're right. Also, Demi Lovato era. I'm a big Demi Lovato fan, so we just keep bringing her
Got
up.
it.
It's fine.
Got
It is what it is. Next is
By the way, I was supposed to. They asked me to do Camp Rock
Really?
way back in the day. Yeah, before I think didn't Joe Jonas play
Yeah.
one of the? Okay,
Yeah.
so I was touring or something, and something like
shoot.
came up, and they're like, no. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And then the movie exploded, and I was like one of those things where like,
oh my
I
gosh.
probably should have done that
Probably.
one.
There's a timeline where Jesse McCartney and Demi Lovato were the leads of Camp Rock.
True.
That's everything I could ever
Somewhere
want.
in another timeline, little Anthony's enjoying that version of Camp Rock.
That's my dream.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And Clay Aiken.
And Clay Aiken.
Yeah.
He was there too.
Yeah,
I
he was
think.
in there.
All right, we got one more for you. This one is very important to me, and if
Okay.
you get it wrong, my heart will break everywhere. The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
For sure, I did that. I know I was part of that because I
That's
remember
right.
I remember being on the show.
Yeah.
And I think it was Beautiful Soul, right?
It was
Yeah,
Beautiful Soul.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you remember the whole scene?
I remember that very well. Even to this day, like millennial moms will come to the show in full, like committed completely in full bellhop uniforms.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
To the show, and there's like meet and greet photos of me with like. There's
love
like a whole
that.
month, like a sort of carousel of photos of me and like all the bellhop girls
so
from meet and
good.
greets. Yeah,
That's so good.
great
All right,
show.
well, you killed it, I think.
I
Did well enough.
I give myself a C- on that. You know,
But I think it was a passing grade.
I'll take a
Yeah.
passing
All
grade.
right, we'll take a
Yeah.
passing grade.
Passing grade is just a 1 or higher. You definitely
I'll
got
take
one.
your spoon.
Better than I did in
Spin.
high school.
That's
Yeah.
right. Oh, did you just suck at school?
I just hated it. You know,
Okay.
it's like
It's real.
it just wasn't just totally checked out. Yeah,
Speaking of you definitely knowing your discography and where it all was, let's talk about The Masked Singer.
yeah.
Ooh, let's go. Here's the question that I ask every single person that
Okay.
I've met who's been on the show.
Yeah.
Are y'all really singing under there?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Oh
that's crazy.
no, and it is like it was the most challenging thing I've ever done. It's impossible. Some of those songs, first of all, like we were talking earlier, I was not used to the costume yet, and just how heavy it is.
Yeah.
The breathing, like you have a mask, obviously, where that you can breathe a little bit, but like just trying to get a big deep breath for those big notes is so hard. And some of the songs I was
Wow.
like full dancing and doing choreography because for whatever reason the producers insisted I danced, and I was like, I don't know if you guys are really gonna want this.
Right.
But yeah, we are singing absolutely,
Wow.
and yeah, and some days are better than others. But what's really cool about that show, though, that I think that they allow the singers to do is pick their own songs.
That is nice.
So, because obviously some voices sound better on certain songs
Yeah,
than others. So it was nice that I could like sort of curate my own.
And you get just the one shot to do it?
You get the one shot, unless there's like some crazy, and it did happen a couple times, like technical malfunction
yeah.
or the camera cut or something happened, and then you'd
Wow.
get another shot at it. But yeah, no, you get one take and that's it. You get a couple run throughs and you get
Yeah.
a dress rehearsal.
Okay.
So you get to run it a few times, but when it's go time, like that's it. You're judged on that first performance.
This is probably a dumb question, but like, do they let you not like have the costume to keep, but like to rehearse in? Or is it like
Yes.
just the dress rehearsal?
Yes, you can rehearse in. Most times you would rehearse. First of all, you would always rehearse with the mask on because
Okay.
they don't. You like sign 100 NDAs and they don't want anyone, even in the crew, to know who you are.
That's
Whoa.
crazy.
Yeah, so you always had the mask on, but some people didn't. I actually opted to always put it on because I wanted to know where I needed
Yeah.
to breathe and where I needed to, step less, and so I always put the whole thing on. But some people didn't. Some people just,
Wow.
And why the turtle?
It was one of like 4 options.
Oh, dope.
They
Okay.
gave me.
Oh, you don't have to tell them like what you want to be?
And it was the only one that had pants. Like a lot of
Okay.
the, like it felt like I could be the most mobile in.
Sure.
You didn't
and
want to
get
be in
around.
tights.
I didn't want to be in
Right.
tights, and I also just did like some of them are literally like they have to wheel you out, or
Nah.
like yeah,
Whoa.
because there's just like you just can't even walk through a door frame, So it was nice to be able to have like I just wore like leather pants, I think,
Dope.
Okay.
and then had the big shell, which was super heavy, but at least I
Yeah.
had pants, so that's why I chose the turtle.
Okay, now you said that you like the NDA, so no one can know in the crew. What about? I mean, I know that it applies to your personal life, but do you hint to people, or is it like?
So I had to disclose that I told my wife because I was
Fair.
leaving the house at 5 in the morning.
Right.
Probably important.
And
yeah.
coming back really late.
Right.
And then my manager knew, and I think maybe a couple other people on my team. But we let
Wow.
them know who was told, and they all had to sign NDAs.
Wow.
But like I didn't even tell my mother.
Was she already a watcher of the show?
No.
Okay.
In fact, she didn't see like the first 2 episodes. And then somebody on episode 3 emailed her and was like, I think your son is on The Masked Singer.
So you didn't even say like, hey mom, you might want to watch this show?
No, I didn't.
Couldn't even do that.
I didn't even do that.
When-
it was kind of fun to
Wow.
have people sort of discover. But what's crazy is I had a Super Bowl party the day it was airing, and there was like 100 people at the house. And like Katie and I are like sneaking on, my wife and I are like sneaking on to the other room to like watch the episode.
Oh,
Because it was like
man.
right after the game. And like somebody's knocking on the door, like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're just like checking out the show and like changing the channel.
Just watching
And
The Masked Singer.
Just watching The Masked Singer.
Oh, man.
And but like it was playing in my living room with everyone partying and having a good time, and no one realized like I was up there singing right after the
So
show.
say your friend texts you and says like, hey, this sounds just like you. Is this you? How do you text them back?
Just plead the fifth, like, oh, no,
Right.
I have no idea
So
what
it's,
you're talking about.
it's not even a
Whoa.
friend DA, just a regular NDA.
Yeah, just a regular NDA. I didn't want to get sued by Fox. I like having a good relationship with them.
Well, I mean, since it's almost Christmas.
Yep.
Because in my heart, any date after August 15th becomes Christmas.
it's August 10th, just so you know.
When you're listening at home, it's going to be after August 15th.
Oh, that's so true. That is so true.
Well, since we're talking about Christmas, just the best time of the year, we have to talk about my favorite thing you've ever done.
Okay.
Which is being Theodore and Alvin and the Chipmunks.
It's a good one.
I need to simply know everything
one.
about it, but first, are the Chipmunks nice in person, yes or no?
They're the nicest.
Okay,
they're
dope.
the
Okay.
nicest. They're fast. But no, that was like one of the greatest gigs. First of all, I grew up a Chipmunks fan. It's like one of those multi-generational
Yeah.
classics, right? My parents watched Alvin and the Chipmunks. I think it was created in like the 50s even, like 50s, 60s. Anyway, I grew up every Saturday morning like watching Alvin and the Chipmunks on
Aw.
Cartoon or whatever. So when I got that call, they were like, hey, they want you to come in and read for Theodore for Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they just kind of want to hear your voice. And I was like freaked out. I was like, this is amazing. I wanted it so bad. And like, I think a couple of the people weren't sure like if I was the guy. And then like one of the, this guy named Christian, who was the casting director for Fox, like really fought for me. And I was cast as Theodore, and it was
Hey.
like such a cool moment. And I love that gig because you can literally like go in your sweatpants and you don't have to be camera ready, and you can just record your
Sick.
things, and you're in and out. Like you do 3-4 hour session and then you're done,
Yeah.
and maybe 4 sessions for the whole movie.
Wow.
So they animate everything, they shoot all the live action stuff, and then the voice actors come in at the very end and just like bang it out, and it's done.
Are you able to go with the other voice actors, or it's just you by yourself?
Too many schedules? Like usually a lot of like, I do another show called the Young Justice League, and it's
nice.
like all of like the superheroes, Young Justice superheroes,
Yeah.
and we record all of those together.
Cool.
It's a TV
Okay.
show, but for the film, there's just too many
Yeah.
schedules, too many
Yeah.
conflicting schedules. So we recorded sort of individually, but yeah, great time.
But you record everything like low and slow, yeah?
So the process is like if I'm so it'd be like, first of all, you pitch up a lot, right? So you kind of talk like this, very slowly, but with the same emphasis as a normal conversation. And then they speed it up. But if you're like even a little bit too high,
Yeah.
it's inaudible. And if you're too slow, then it sounds like really janky. There's like a sweet
Wow.
spot. And once you like get
Wow.
it, like you get it. But
Do you feel like being a singer gave you like a leg up there? Because you're like, oh, I can just remember. It's like a G, and I do
totally,
it. Okay.
there's a lot of melody, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like it's hard. Like when you're having a conversation, when things go up and down and that sort of
Uh-huh.
thing. So yeah, for sure. And
was that
just
your
timing.
first voice acting role?
No, I don't know. I mean, it was definitely the biggest that
Yeah.
I had done at that time, and I think
When was Kingdom
I
Hearts?
had done Kingdom Hearts was around the same time, at least the first game. But
Nice.
I had done some other like voice acting before, but
Okay.
nothing on this like world international level. That was
What do you think drew them to you?
I think at the time, like, first of all, they were looking, because at the end of the day, any voice actor could have done these things. I think they were looking for people.
Not as good.
Maybe not as good. But no, I mean, I think they were looking for names to be able to support the film in press and in interviews later, you
Makes
know.
sense.
Yeah.
So they wanted people that could talk about it later. And I think Levin was doing really well at the time. So they were looking for which is funny because I'm like, oh, I get to sing all the songs.
Right.
There was like some sort of licensing. They wouldn't let any of the actors sing. Like I didn't even sing any of the music. Different union. That's what it was.
Whoa.
So they had singers come in,
Wait,
and I'm like,
do you not sing?
Can I come to one of the singing sessions?
Do you not sing on Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Did I break your heart again?
Stop.
Yeah.
That just ruined everything in my heart.
What's worse, that or Halloween Town?
Yes.
Okay.
No way. Oh gosh, I was gaslighting
No.
myself
No.
watching the movies. I'm like, oh, that's such a Jesse riff. And it's just not you.
Nope, not me.
No way.
Do you think if the actor was told, like, listen to Jesse's music, try and emulate him?
No, I think they were told listen to the Chipmunks.
Right, that's
I
real.
think they're also like they had a team of Chipmunk singers that did like the TV shows and like are just so dialed in. One of the producers or who's also like an owner because it's a privately owned franchise. Alvin and the Chipmunks still like privately owned, and one of the wife, I think I forget her first name, Bagdasarian, blanking on her first name. She owns the Chipmunks, and she originally did Theodore, so she would be in the room like helping me with Theodore. But she also did a lot of the singing, I believe. So, but yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that when it's actually Christmas time for normal people, we'll have you come back here, and we will sing one of Exactly.
Well, no, I think we have to hire 3 singers, and then
it'll be your first time ever singing that song.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's huge.
that'd be so
We could
fun.
do that actually. We should do a
That'd
kitchen
be
series
dope.
just in Alvin and the Chipmunks voices.
Yes, that'd be
That would
sick.
be
That's
funny.
amazing.
And we can wear different color hoodies. We'll give you the green one.
Okay.
Now of me and Jonathan, who's Simon and who is Alvin, and why am I not?
You're Alvin.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was gonna say, why am I not Simon?
Jonathan has the Simon height. And
Okay,
like, and you
I
have
like
a little
that.
bit of that like astute thing going
Okay.
on, you know.
All right, I appreciate
and,
that.
and Alvin's the star.
Alvin's the star.
yeah.
I think we'll call it Theo's Trio actually.
Theo's Trio.
Okay.
I love that.
That's real. That's
yeah.
real. We got another game going. Let's do it.
Yes, it's in the spirit of this or that, except it's called Lovin' It or Leavin' It.
Oh. Wait, I don't get it.
So there's this song. No, I'm kidding.
So we're gonna give you two things, and you're gonna say which one you're leaving and which one you're loving. So you'll be like, I'm loving avocados and I'm leaving kumquats. I don't know.
Got it.
Right. And how would you feel about avocados and kumquats?
Yeah,
Seriously.
That's really hard because I love both avocados and kumquats, sometimes together.
Okay.
But I'd probably go avocado.
No, it's
Oh, I'd love it.
I'm loving.
Which one are you loving? Which one are you leaving?
I'm loving avocados and I'm leaving kumquats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is like Jeopardy. You have to like
Now
say it in
I've
a
got
specific.
it. Yeah.
Oh man! I
we
need
go.
you to know a working title for this game was "Beautiful Soul" or "Beautiful Hole," and we decided
That's good.
we decided to go with "Lovin' or Leavin'."
Yeah. All right. So number 1 is voice acting or screen acting. Which one are we loving? Which one are we leaving?
Ooh.
Damn, that's like a really
know.
hard one to start
We
with.
said no hard hitting questions, and
Yeah.
here we are.
I think I gotta love screen acting and leave. I'm leaving voice acting.
Wow, okay.
But you know that's like gun to the head situation.
That's
'cause,
okay.
You know
Right.
I love them both dearly.
Understandable.
Well, next we got owning your own record label or being with a major label.
Not even a question. I'm leaving being with a major, which I've done, and owning my own record label. So much more rewarding.
Nice. How long has that been, by the way?
10 years.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's go.
All right, another
That's sick.
really hard one. Are we loving or leaving New York or LA?
I'm loving New York. I'm leaving LA. I mean, it's funny because I live in LA and I have for 20 years. But you know, New York is home. It's where everything started. And
That's
like,
fair.
there's just still like this sort of nostalgic feeling I get when I go back there and I see the way,
Of course.
kind of remind, you know, that song that really hit for me, that, end of the beginning, the what's his name? And when I'm back in Chicago.
Oh, Joe. To Joe.
Oh, he should have called that Chicago, by the way. But but yeah, like when I hear that song, it reminds me of like when I left New York and like then I would go back and like see all my friends that I grew up with, and it was just like
That's fair.
such different worlds. But I love New York. Greatest city in the world, I think.
So we're loving New York. That's
Loving New
amazing.
York.
Oh my God. I mean, we can't call that song Chicago, though, because in Victorious, there's a very iconic song.
That's true.
Chicago. You know,
Yeah.
Now, have you ever seen an
I
episode
knew
of
you were going to
Victorious?
say that. I knew you were going to say that. Of course I have.
Right.
My wife did an episode of Victorious, actually.
That's
she had like a
sick.
cameo on that show.
No way.
So that was the first time I watched
Love
it.
that.
That's amazing. All right, this one's very important to me. Loving or leaving, GTA, Kingdom Hearts.
Loving or leaving, GTA or Kingdom Hearts. What's GTA?
Grand
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah. See, there you go.
That's your answer.
Our producer had to mouth Grand Theft Auto in case we didn't
you know what's funny? As somebody who's like the voice of like one of the bigger video games in today's world, I'm not a gamer. So like, I actually, now that you said Grand Theft Auto, I know GTA. But, okay, so I guess I'm leaving GTA.
Okay.
And I'm loving.
We're loving Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
And
Because,
and you said people pull up to your meet and greets like in full Kingdom Hearts. Just
they
like,
don't even. They sit at the bar and don't listen to any of my music, and then just wait for the meet
Love
and greet
that.
so that I can sign all their Kingdom Hearts stuff.
That
All
is
right.
Yeah.
sick.
We've got one last one for you. Singing anywhere or singing in the kitchen?
I am leaving singing anywhere, and I am loving singing in the kitchen,
Yes,
especially
he
this
gets it.
kitchen.
That's what we wanted
This
to
kitchen.
hear.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for playing our games and chatting with us today.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Can you let the people know where we can find you?
Yeah,
Socials.
you can find me everywhere on socials. You know how to do that. But find me this fall on tour,
Let's go.
October
Love
4th
that.
through November 8th. I'll be touring around the U.S., two cities in Canada.
Two cities in Canada.
But
Shout
yeah,
out Canada.
Come see me on tour. It's a fun show.
Amazing.
go.
Well, thank
Hey,
you.
before we go though, do you
Yeah.
have any soap jokes?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I was actually gonna work it in like seamlessly.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the hardest part of soaps.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, the hardest part of soap for me is trying to pick between the different scents, or if I want it foamy or not. That was my soap joke.
See, I find it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, but like Bath and Body Works, right? The like foamy ones. That's it.
Okay.
Right.
I find the hardest part when you go to grab the soap and it flies out of your hand, personally.
Anyway, bye guys.
Thank you so much for
Thanks,
being
guys.
here. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Counter-Melodies.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a moment from us.
See you soon.